Well, this is my Collins KWM2A station that I'm selling. On the far left is the 516 F2 power supply. In the center we have the KWM2 radio. And then we have the 312B5 remote VFO. And on the far right we have the 30L1 linear amplifier. Going back to the middle, right now this station is tuned up on 40 meters into a dummy load. And running about 230 milliamps of plate current. And delivering just a little bit over maybe 105 watts of output power, as read on the watt meter in the B1235 amplifier. Just took a little jump up, got another few watts as my air conditioner kicked off, which raised the line voltage a little bit. But it is summertime here in New York and it's a little humid, so I like to be comfortable. Okay, now we have the radio set to go again on 40 meters. Reduce the power output a little bit to run into the 30L1 amplifier. So right now we're running about 200 milliamps of plate current, which is the recommended amount if you're feeding the 30L1. And over here on the outputs power scale now on the 312B5, we're reading just about 0.7 kilowatts, about 700 watts out of the 30L1 amplifier, which is a few watts more than it's spec for, but that's what it's delivering. And that's the amplifier right over here. Running a DC plate current of about 0.6 amps. Running about 1700 volts on the plate, and the tune meter is reading 0, is exactly where it should be when the amplifier is tuned up. And I'm just going to do a quick demonstration of the sensitivity of the receiver. We're still tuned up here on 40 meters, and we have my old URM25D signal generator here, which is on its 0.1 scale multiplier. As we bring up the signal level, you know, it's a pretty decent signal right there, and that's just about 1/10 of a microvolt on the meter. You get up around a 1/2 microvolt, which is what its specification is, and it's a very strong signal into the receiver. Sensitivity is excellent. Coming back to the receiver. As we bring the signal level up further, we'll jump it up to 50 microvolts or so. And as you can see, the S meter is reading just a little shy of S9, about S8.5, which is typically the de facto standard for S9, being 50 microvolts on amateur radio equipment in general. And this receiver is doing that quite nicely. Okay, what I'd like to demonstrate now, we're still on 40 meters, but just to show the linearity of the main VFO in the KWM2A, have the calibrator on, and we're 0 beat at 1 Hz of KC, as you can see. Give or take a few cycles. And now as we slide down to 0, down there, or about 700 cycles or so off of zero mark. Of course, I could recalibrate at this point, but just demonstrating the overall linearity, I set it at the middle of the band, and now we'll go up to 200 kilohertz. And 2 kilohertz, we're about I call it 0.6 or so kc, 600 cycles high at that point on the dial, but linearity is overall excellent and certainly within their specification. And of course we have the other VFO available on the 312B5, so all right, what we'll do is we'll switch over to that, and I'll slide the camera over there. Okay, now the VFO light went off on the main, and we'll go over here to the 312B5 VFO, and we'll run that one up and down. That one comes in at about 600 cycles high on the scale. Similar to the main VFO, just in the opposite direction. And at the top end, it's, you know, maybe 200 or 300 cycles off there. And both VFOs have the same output. We switch between the two of them. Right now we're showing fairly strong S9 plus 10 signal. I have to switch over to the other VFO. You can see that it reads exactly the same signal level on the meter. But S9 plus 10 or so between the two VFOs. That's switching back and forth between the two of them. And they're pretty much identical VFOs calibration wise and output level wise.
Fine, thank you, it's really everything okay, and thank you for the short QSO, and got your working condition there, your issue Fox Lima 2100 Zulu, or Bravo, sorry, it's a very old gear, but I think still running high, just as a bit older tire, but I think 200 watts enough for the Xing there. Bye for now, and good night. See you down the log near future. KB1PXQ, IN3ZNR. Bye for now, so long. More DX calling Italy, November 3, Zulu November Radio, India, Norway 3, Zulu Norway Radio, CQDX.
Whiskey Alpha 2, Tango, Tango Papa, Tango, Tango Papa, copy.
WA2 TTP, nice to meet you, thank you for calling in, good night, coming through 5 and 728 here, some TSB, but no problem at all. And handle is Fab, Fox Alpha Boston. The operator name is long, Fabrizio, which is very long for Radio Fab, okay, Fox America Bravo shortly. And the KDH is just 100 miles south, the Austrian borders, northern side of the country. Back to WA2 TTP, India November 3, Zulu November Radio.
IN3 ZNR, this WA2 TTP. Very good, Fab. We're copying you a good 5 and 9 here. Name here is Steve, Sierra Tango Echo Victor Echo, and we're located in New York State, upstate, about 200 miles north of New York City. Running an older rig, we have a Collins KWM2A into a 30L1 amplifier. We're running about 700 watts output, and copying you absolutely beautifully tonight. Great signal. Been over to Austria, I've been to Italy. I haven't been to northern Italy though. It's on my list of things to do. IN3 ZNR, this WA2TTP. Go ahead, Fab.
Yes, Steve, WA2TTP, IN3 ZNR. Such a rig, my friend. When I was a boy, this rig was my dream. But they never buy one. They made one on this rig. But anyway, running here Unicraft K3, Steve, K3 and about 450 here, 450 watts. Okay, and it's just a little bit overcast this morning, and about I think 19 degrees centigrade here, Celsius, 19 Celsius of course, and it's a beautiful season here. In daytime we reach 28, 29 and 30 in downtown. QTH is up the mountains here. We are very close to the Dolomite Mountains near the Austrian borders, and the QTH is about 3,000 feet above the sea level, Steve. Yeah, back to you again. WA2TTP, IN3 ZNR, over.
Yeah, IN3 ZNR, this WA2TTP. Yeah, very good, Fab. K3 is doing great. And yeah, when I was a kid, age here is 68, when I was a kid, this was a radio that I could no way afford, but did manage to pick up this particular one about 20 years ago, and actually I'm in the process of possibly selling it, so I was just tuning it up tonight, make sure everything was working correctly, which it is. But very good on the altitude there, 3,000 feet. Height here above sea level is about 250 feet. But we have a beam up about 70 feet, 4-element tri-bander aimed to your way, and seems to do pretty good for the most part. Weather here is about 61 degrees Fahrenheit, but come Saturday we're heading out to the western U.S., out to Arizona, where it's scheduled to be like 105 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're going to be toasty warm out there visiting my son. So I'll throw it back to you, Fab. I don't know if anybody else is trying to jump in here. I don't want to hog the frequency. IN3 ZNR, this is WA2TTP. Go ahead.
W2TTP, IN3 ZNR. Fine, Steve. Okay, enjoy your trip to Arizona. By the way, it's time for switch off radio here. I'm not still retired, so I need to go to follow my business, and downtown it's about 15-minute ride by car. So in 50 minutes I slop down to 200 at 600 feet from 300 feet. So it's very fast, slow. Okay, best 73s, and take care, my friend. Hope to meet you near future on the band. Good night, and enjoy DXing. WA2 Tango Papa, Italy Nancy 3 Zulu Nancy Radio, sending clear on the frequency 73s. Bye for now.
Yeah, okay, Fab, very good. Yeah, I imagine every day your ears must pop going from 3,000 down to 600 feet. You probably feel that coming and going, but must be a great view from your location. Very nice talking to you, and glad to hear you're copying the old Collins radio well tonight. And we're certainly hearing you wonderfully. IN3 ZNR, this is WA2TTP. 7 3s, Fab.